Begin by finding a comfortable seated position, perhaps lifting your hips with a blanket or a cushion if that's more comfortable for your joints and your lower back. Sit tall, close your eyes, take a moment to center in and to deepen your awareness of your physical body. Let your weight sink a little more heavily into your sits bones on the prop or on the floor. And let go of any unconscious clenching or unnecessary tension that you notice you're holding in your body. Inviting an overall greater sense of ease in your whole body. Notice how you're feeling mentally and emotionally. And direct more of your attention to your breath. Allow your abdominal muscles to soften so that when you're inhaling, you feel some expansion in your abdomen as well as your chest. Slow the pace of your breath by steadying the intake of air as you inhale and steadying the release of air as you exhale. Begin to incorporate a count of 5, counting to 5 internally as you inhale, using that same pace to count to 5 as you exhale. And then just keep your 5 count flowing in and out with your breath. If your breathing begins to slow, you can slow the pace of your counting to accommodate that slower rhythm. Counting your way through one more full cycle. And then watching the breath as it relaxes into a natural, unmanipulated rhythm. Aware of your body, aware of your breath. Notice the quality of your mind. And then when you're ready to, you can blink your eyes back open. And let's begin by resting the fingertips behind the hips. If you're sitting on a cushion, you might just rest your hands on the back of the cushion. Or if you can reach, you can rest your fingertips on the floor behind you. Lift your top of your chest a little bit higher, lift the crown of your head a little bit higher, let your shoulders roll back. As we take our next inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead, can look up, lift your ribs. As you exhale, draw your palms down to your heart and round your back into a C shape, tucking your chin. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward. As you inhale, sweep the palms up. And on the exhale, just floating the arms back down behind the hips. And again, inhaling as you sweep up, lift your ribs, lift your gaze. On the exhale, draw your palms down to your heart, rounding the back, tucking the chin. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, inhale, sweep up. And as you exhale, releasing hands back down behind the hips. One more full cycle. Inhale up. Exhale, rounding. Interlace. Inhale as you sweep up. And release as you exhale. Let your left hand come to the floor beside you. Reach your right arm up and over into a side bend. You can tilt your chin up. Let your head lean to the side to stretch the side of the neck. Taking one more breath here. And then we'll lift up and come into the stretch on the other side for a few breaths. And with the next inhale, bringing both arms up overhead. And as you exhale, cross into a twist, bringing your left hand to your right knee, fingertips of your other hand resting behind you or on the back of the bolster. Lift up through the top of your head. Turn your gaze as far as your neck will allow, and let yourself breathe. Releasing back to center, and on an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, turn and come into your twist on the other side for a few breaths. And then releasing back to center and taking a forward fold. Let your whole spine relax, softening your lower belly, softening your lower back, softening the space between your shoulder blades. Relax your neck so the head hangs heavy. And take a few breaths. Deep inhale through your nose, long exhale through your mouth like you're fogging a mirror. When your exhale is completed, come back up to seated and extend your legs forward. Bring your palms together, create a little warmth between your hands. And then we'll just use that warmth to massage on either side of each kneecap. You can use the heels of your hands to dig in a little deeper around the edges of the kneecap. And then rolling the ankles a few times to get a little circulation and lubrication to the ankle joint. And from here, we're going to transition to an all-fours position. And if you're on a hardwood floor, you might consider using a blanket to cushion your knees. Knees about hip distance apart, shoulders over wrists, and can spread your fingers wide as a way to take care of your wrists. Tune into an awareness of your spine and your body, and see if you can lengthen your spine by reaching the tip of your tailbone back and lengthening the crown of your head forward as you gaze toward the mat. With our next exhale, we're going to round the back by curling the tailbone under, and you can keep tucking the tailbone, which will stack and round your spine. Chin tucks up toward the chest, and then you can let your hips get heavy and sink them back toward your heels. Elbows bending. And we'll come back up to all fours, leading with the chest. So you can pull your chest forward, lift your tailbone as you come up with an arched back. And then on the exhale, round again, curling your tailbone under, tuck your chin, hips sinking back, elbows bending, head heavy. And on the inhale, pulling the chest forward and up as the tailbone lifts, arched back, rounding on the exhale and sinking. Arching, rising back up on the inhale. And taking it through 2 more full cycles of breath. finish, coming back to all fours position, neutral spine. Bring your knees wider, about as wide as the mat, maybe even wider if that's comfortable for you. Bring your big toes together, walk your hands forward, press your hips back towards your heels as you sink your chest toward the mat. Take a few deep belly breaths here. And then shift your way forward back to all fours position. Let's do a gentle core and back strengthener here. So what we'll do is stretch the right leg back with your right foot flexed like you're trying to press it against the wall behind you. You can either hold here and breathe, or you can extend your left arm forward for a little more challenge. And we'll hold here for 2 more breaths. And then releasing back to all fours position and taking that stretch and that strengthener on the other side. Left leg stretches back this time, left foot flexed. And then if you feel like you could take a little more challenge, also reaching the right arm forward. So you can gaze toward the mat to keep your neck neutral. Reach actively through your heel and your fingertips. Let yourself breathe, and then we'll let it go. We're going to walk the hands a little further away from the knees and just do a few hip circles by sinking the hips toward one side, sweeping them up towards your wrists, around to the other side, back toward the heels. And then reverse direction and go around the other way a few times. And we'll bring the hips back to central position and set up for first downward facing dog. Tucking the toes under. Keep your knees bent as you lift your hips as high as you can. Press the floor away from you through your hands. Roll your outer armpits toward the floor. Once you feel like you have good length in your back, then maybe pedaling the feet here to open up the backs of the legs. And then we're going to make our way to a standing fold. So you can either walk your hands towards your feet or walk your feet towards your hands. And keep a soft bend in your knees as you relax into your fold with your head heavy. You're welcome to sway a little here from the hips if that feels good. Or you can turn your head side to side to loosen up any lingering neck tension. And then let's come halfway up. So sliding the hands either to your shins or to your knees, and then straighten out through your back as straight as a board. Crown of the head reaching forward. Shoulders press back, and shoulders press a little up toward the ceiling to expand your chest. With your next exhale, let your upper body relax back down into your forward fold. When you inhale, come halfway up again. Lengthen your back, expand your chest, and then fold forward on the exhale. And then we're going to come all the way up to standing this time on the inhale. So press actively down through your feet. Sweep your arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring your palms to your heart. Take a moment to tune into your physical awareness of your body and of your breath. Feel the relationship between your feet and the floor. Make any little adjustments you need to feel like you have a strong bond there. So you want to apply some pressure through the soles of your feet into the floor. And also squeeze your thighs and hips toward one another like you're trying to hold a yoga block between your thighs. Lower abdomen slightly tucking toward the spine here to support your lower back. So when you breathe, you want to focus on breathing into your side ribs. When you inhale, feel your side ribs expanding, and you might even feel the ribs in the back of your body expanding as well on the in-breaths. Become aware of any tension you're holding in your shoulders and neck, which can be remedied by relaxing the shoulders back and down away from the ears and actively reaching the shoulders east and west apart from one another. Preparing for a half sun salutation. As you take your next inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, take a forward fold. As you inhale, come halfway up, lengthen your back, and then fold on your exhale. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. On the exhale, returning the palms to the heart. Let's do one more. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, coming halfway up, lengthening. Exhale, folding again. And then on the inhale, sweeping all the way up. Exhale, bringing the palms to the heart. And now preparing for a full sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming halfway up, lengthen your back, expand your chest. This time on the exhale, bend your knees so you can plant your palms. And we're going to step back to a plank position. So top of a push-up, shoulders over wrists. On the exhale, we're going to lower all the way to the floor. So if this is a little too much for your wrists and shoulders, bring your knees to the mat. Elbows tuck in toward the ribs as you lower down to the floor. Untuck your toes as you inhale, lift your heart, roll your shoulders back into cobra. And then on the exhale, you can either take down dog or child's pose here if you need a more gentle practice today. And let's take 2 more generous breaths. And then looking forward towards your hands, make your way back to your standing fold. When your feet are well planted, come halfway up on your inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold again. The inhale takes you all the way back up, sweeping the arms up. And as you exhale, bringing your palms to your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, coming halfway up, lengthen your back, expand your chest. This time on the exhale, bend your knees so you can plant your palms. And we're going to step back to a plank position. So top of a push-up, shoulders over wrists. On the exhale, we're going to lower all the way to the floor. So if this is a little too much for your wrists and shoulders, bring your knees to the mat. Elbows tuck in toward the ribs as you lower down to the floor. Untuck your toes as you inhale, lift your heart, roll your shoulders back into cobra. And then on the exhale, you can either take down dog or child's pose here if you need a more gentle practice today. And let's take 2 more generous breaths. And then looking forward towards your hands, make your way back to your standing fold. When your feet are well planted, come halfway up on your inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, fold again. The inhale takes you all the way back up, sweeping the arms up. And as you exhale, bringing your palms to your heart. Preparing for a standing side bend, press down actively through both feet. Hug your thighs. Interlace all of your fingers except index fingers and thumbs. I'm going to turn so that you can see me from the front. Keep your legs strong and active. As you inhale, you're going to reach up. And then on the exhale, you'll lean to your left. Inhaling, coming back up to center. And then on the exhale, leaning to the other side, keeping the legs active. Inhale back up. Take 1 more stretch on each side with your breath. Inhaling back up. This time as you exhale, release your hands and interlace them behind your back. As you inhale, loop your shoulders back, reach your knuckles down, folding forward as you exhale with a soft bend in your knees. Hands press away from the back to open the shoulders. Let yourself breathe. One more breath here. And then pressing your way back up to standing, release your hands. And then turn so that you can take a wide stance on your mat. We're going to take a forward fold here, bringing hands to rest on your hips. As you inhale, lift your heart. On the exhale, fold forward. Hands can come down to a prop or to the mat. Relax your neck, let your head be heavy. Press the floor away from you through your feet, lift your hips. Inner legs hugging toward the center line to activate your leg muscles. Upper body relaxed. Breathing. To come out of the fold, return your hands to your hips, pressing down through the feet to lift all the way back up to standing. Let's take one more fold. This one's a little more of a core strengthener. So hands on hips. We're going to fold with a straight spine so you can bend your knees a little to compensate. As you inhale, lift your chest, draw your elbows toward one another behind your back. Fold on your exhale with a straight spine. Straight spine will limit you, so you'll probably come about halfway. Keep your elbows hugging. Keep your thighs hugging toward the center line of the body. Draw your inhales all the way up to your collarbones. Taking generous breaths. And then to come out of the pose, root down through your feet and lift all the way back up to standing. Step your back foot forward, coming to the front of the mat. Preparing for balance practice. I'm going to turn to face you so you can see me better. So feet about hip distance apart, hands by the hips, palms facing forward. Take a moment to tune into your body and breath awareness. Find a gaze point to keep your eyes focused. As you take your next in-breath, sweep your arms up. Now as you exhale, let the arms float back down. This time on the inhale, sweeping the arms up and lifting up off the heels. As you exhale, play with lowering the heels as slowly as you can, also releasing the arms. On the inhale, sweeping up. And then releasing on the exhale. When you come up on your in-breath, think about pressing down through the big toe pad. Exhale, releasing. 3 more cycles of breath. And if you start to get really good at this and you need a little more challenge, you can hold at the top of the inhale for a few counts and then release. And when you finish, shake it out. And taking one more balance pose, feet about hip distance apart. Hands on hips, preparing for tree pose. Finding a gaze point to keep the eyes focused. We're going to shift our weight into the left foot. And right foot, you can either use like a kickstand with the heel above the ankle, or if you're feeling a little more ambitious, you can bring the entire foot above the ankle. Some people prefer to cross the ankle in front of the shin. If you feel steady here, then use a hand mudra. So either the arms open out to the sides, or you can bring the palms together at your heart, or palms together overhead. Whatever variation you prefer. Just let yourself breathe. When you're ready to, you can let it go, shake it out, and set up for the pose on the other side, shifting the weight into the opposite foot, and then either using the other foot like a kickstand or bringing the foot above the ankle or ankle in front of shin. Keeping the eyes focused, letting yourself breathe. And then if you feel steady, maybe using a hand mudra. Soft smile so you don't get too serious. Let yourself breathe. And then when you're ready to, you can let it go. Let's take one more sun salute, coming forward to the front of the mat, feet about hip distance apart, palms together at the heart, tuning into physical body, maybe 360-degree awareness of your body and space. With the next inhale, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, coming halfway up, lengthen your back. And as you exhale, fold, plant your palms, stepping back to plank position. And lowering all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes as you inhale, lift your heart, draw your shoulders back into cobra. And then exhaling to down dog or child's pose for 3 breaths. Either way, ending up in child's pose by bringing your knees to the mat, knees wide, big toes together, pressing the hips toward the heels, relaxing the heart toward the mat. And taking a few deep abdominal breaths. From child's pose, transition to lying on your back on the mat. Once you're lying on your back, walk your feet to the right as far as is comfortable for your body. And then stretch your arms up overhead and shimmy your shoulders also toward the right side of your mat. You can situate your head in whatever way helps your neck feel free. And taking a few generous breaths here. And then coming into this stretch on the other side, so walking the feet to the left this time. And shimming your upper body toward the left, so essentially coming into a banana shape on your back. And then making your way back to center. Sweep your arms up as high as you can go on the floor without creating pain in your shoulders. Bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the mat, and then shimmy your feet a bit wider till they're about as wide as your yoga mat. As you exhale, lower your knees down to the left side. On your inhale, guide the knees back up to center. Exhaling, lower down to the other side. On the inhale, the knees come up. On the exhale, knees lower down to the other side. Allow your breath to initiate your movement. And keep your awareness on simply coordinating your movement with your breath. One more full cycle of breath. And then as the knees come back to center, bring your feet to about hip distance apart. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, and either apply pressure against your right thigh like you're pressing it forward, or interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and hug your legs towards your upper body. Take deep breaths into your abdomen here so that on your inhales you can feel some expansion in your lower back and your hips and your pelvic bowl, using your breath to massage the lower torso from the inside. Let go of any unnecessary tension that you feel in your shoulders, your neck, and your jaw. And when it feels just right, come into your stretch on the other side, crossing left ankle over right knee, and either applying pressure to the left thigh, or interlacing your fingers behind your right thigh and hugging your legs towards your upper body. Breathing deeply into the belly here. When you're ready to, you can release and hug both knees in toward your chest. Use your hands to guide your knees in a big circle, rolling around the edges of the lower back. And then reverse direction and go around the other way a few times. Keep your right knee drawn in and extend your left leg onto the mat. Flex your left foot, hug your right knee in as snug as your body allows. Take 3 deep breaths into your belly, using your breath to massage your low back and your pelvic bowl. Rest your right hand on your knee and guide your knee out to the right side for a few breaths. You can either hold this pose as you breathe, or if it feels good to do some gentle rotation, you can invite some movement here as well. Guiding the knee back up to center, now use your left hand to draw the knee across your midline. It's totally fine to roll over onto your left side here if that helps you to access a deeper stretch. You might like to extend the right arm out to the side to accentuate the twist. When you're ready to, bring the knee back to center, and then extend your right leg onto the mat. Hug your left knee in toward your chest. Right foot flexed, left knee hugging in as snug as your body allows. 3 deep breaths into the belly. Let go of any unnecessary tension in your shoulders, neck, and jaw. Use your left hand to guide your knee out to the side for a few breaths, either holding as you breathe, or if it feels good to invite some gentle hip rotation, you can use movement here. Use the right hand to guide the knee across the body. And if it feels good to extend your left arm out behind you, you're welcome to do that, and maybe also turning your head to look toward the left to accentuate the twist. When you're ready to release, hug both knees in toward the chest. You might rock a little side to side here, or roll your knees in circles. Or if you'd like to take a more deep twist here, you can lower your legs down to the side and bring back up to center and lower to the other side a few times. Resting one hand on each knee, as you inhale, move your knees forward and away from you. As you exhale, hug the knees back in toward your chest. Long, slow, deep inhale as the knees move forward. Long, slow exhale as the knees hug back in. One more full cycle of breath. And then you can either extend your legs into Shavasana or finish your practice in a restorative pose. Please allow yourself at least 2 to 5 minutes to let go of effort in your body and to also allow your mind to soften and settle and rest on your. So take your time, adjusting yourself in whatever way you need to feel
even 5% more comfortable, more supported. As you settle into your final relaxation pose, consciously letting go of any sense of effort that you feel in your muscles. Allow your eyelids and eyebrows to soften. Let your forehead and scalp loosen. Relax the hinges of your jaw. Relax the base of your tongue. Allow your collarbones to soften and widen. Let your elbows and wrists get a little heavier. Allow your hip bones to soften and widen. Allow your hip bones and ankles to get heavier. Softening the backs of your legs. Softening the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Allow your abdomen to become totally limp and loose. Letting go of any sense of effort that you feel in your body. As your body continues to soften and settle into the firm support of the earth, encourage your mind also to soften and settle. You might imagine that your mind is like a pebble settling and sinking into the pond, all the way to the floor of the pond. We can achieve a greater state of relaxation and letting go, and even greater awareness by allowing the mind to join the body in stillness. You can help to facilitate stillness for your mind by keeping your awareness focused on your sensory experience in this moment. Aware of the sensation of sound arriving in the ears. Aware of the muscles that are moving to accommodate your breath coming in and out. Aware of the contact between your body and the floor. The touch of air on your skin. Inevitably, the mind will start to wander away from the body. When you catch your mind wandering, your practice is to return your awareness to your sensory experience in this moment.